young ladies who are in high school or college and you're thinking about having sex with a young man, when is the right time to do it? Okay, I'm Sharzat Morgan, mother of three. I was married 25 years and I've been single 7 years. So I'm going to speak to you as a mother and as a woman who's been single and dating for 7 years. And what's really important to know is that men and women are completely different when it comes to sex. It took me a long time to really get it because when we're having sex with guys, they're so affectionate. And as a woman, I can make it mean that this guy really likes us. And I have sex with a guy that I already like, and I think he has sex with me because he already likes me. But men are very different than women when it comes to sex. Men's attraction to women starts in their penis. A young man or a man is attracted to almost every woman. This is going to come as a surprise because we as women would have sex with maybe one out of every 100 guys that we see, or one out of every 200. You know, I can go for months without seeing a man I would want to have sex with. But a man sees many women in an hour he wants to have sex with. It's his testosterone, it's his brain chemistry, it's his, you know, it's his male energy. And it's because women are beautiful. We're pretty and we're curvy. And they see us like we see flowers or beautiful shoes at the store. This is so beautiful. Like, have you gone into a Nordstrom and looked at the shoes? Oh my God, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Or dresses or jewelry. And you're like, oh my God, it's all so beautiful. I want it all. That's how men see us. Okay? And it isn't until they get to know us and bond with us and through repeatedly doing things for us that we like that they start to have feelings for us. But their interest in us starts with their cock. And even a young man at 18 probably masturbates 5 or 7 times a day. Women don't generally masturbate that often, but they have a very high sex drive. And as they get older, it does slow down a little bit and they have a little bit more wisdom around their sexual conquest. But a young man doesn't know himself yet and he's just so horny all the time. It's hard for them to even concentrate in high school classes. So they naturally desire all women. And if a woman makes herself available to him for sex, he'll really appreciate her because she's so beautiful. You know, he may even really try to please you, but after the sex is done, there's nothing there because his heart and his mind haven't been enlivened yet. And so he's easily going to disappear. Um, if he has some good manners, he'll tell you, I'm really not interested. But usually he just feels too bad or too guilty, you know, and he may just ghost you. Now, a woman's interest in a man starts in our minds. We get interested, we get curious, we think we might like you, or it can even start in our hearts by projecting a fantasy like, this is the perfect guy for me. I really like this guy. So I'm going to have sex with him because I think that he's like me. If I like him and I have sex with him, he'll like me more because I'll like him more. And I picture him as my boyfriend, so I'm going to give him girlfriend privileges. And by giving him all these things, he will like me more. So we have sex with him, and then we're heartbroken when he disappears. That's because he hasn't yet bonded to us, and because we're giving too much too fast. A man, the masculine energy versus the feminine energy. I'm going to talk about polarity relationships. We both have masculine and feminine energies. So when you're doing your homework, when you're focusing, when you set goals for yourself, if you're training or studying, that's masculine energy. You know, it's directed and it's focused. Men have more of this energy. The feminine energy is more like our creative energy, allowing, having feelings, being in the flow, being out in nature, singing, dancing, allowing, receiving. Women have more of that energy. And in general, a relationship works really well when the man gets to be more in his masculine energy and the woman more in her feminine energy. What does that really mean? What am I talking about? Men like to give to get. So you're doing your job to get money, or you're doing something for a woman to get her smile. A man is going to get great appreciation by telling you a joke or taking you out and seeing you happy. That is enough for him. And a woman wants to receive. Naturally, we want to receive. If we start giving to a man more than he's given to us, what actually happens is he gets lazy. He doesn't have to do anything. Netflix and chill. I don't have to take this girl out. She'll come over and suck my dick. I don't have to do a thing. And he'll get lazy and lazy and lazy, and he will actually lose attraction to you and lose respect for you because you were too easy. He didn't have to do anything to earn it, so it doesn't feel as good. It's kind of like you study for a test and you get an A and you feel really good. But if you didn't study and you just got an A, it wouldn't feel as good, right? That's how a man feels when he doesn't have to work for you. Okay? It's not that he has to work for you because you're hard to get. He has to work for you because he has to earn your love. He has to do things for you repeatedly that fill you with appreciation so that you want to open to him. If you open to him too fast, you're probably a little bit too much in your masculine energy, or you're trying to gain his approval, or you're giving him privileges he hasn't earned, and he doesn't value you as much. It's like the teacher who gave you an A without you actually taking the test. You got the A, but how good does that really feel? So the man likes the challenge, and he likes giving. He gets a lot of pleasure out of the giving. Now, as women, if we give him privileges too much, well, he gets lazy, right? And we get angry and resentful. We might feel abandoned. We might be angry, we might be, why do I have to do everything? It's because we went into this relationship with the incorrect setup by chasing him, by pursuing him, or by giving him more than he has earned. So, how do you break this cycle? I had to break this cycle myself. I had a history of going for men who treated me really well, didn't cheat on me, provided for me financially, but were emotionally unavailable because that's what felt familiar to me from childhood. We go for relationships that are familiar from childhood because that's all we know. That's what love feels like. And if someone gives us more love than the love we have for ourselves, we will push it away. It will feel uncomfortable. I had a really close friend who would keep saying that my relationship that I had with my ex-husband seemed boring to her because we didn't have the up and down dramas and all the fights. She was used to more chaos in her childhood home. Love to her felt chaotic, unpredictable. Now she's healed that in herself and she can see that now. Okay, so I would go for men who were emotionally unavailable, and I had to see that I had to become emotionally available to myself, and I had to feel worthy of receiving. I had turned down my ability to receive because I thought my feminine qualities made me weak. I thought I should be like a man, that would make me more powerful in the world, more strong. Men would like me more. It seemed safer. There's a great power in being receptive. That's what I'm discovering. And just something simple as telling people, I need help. I want to feel supported. I want to feel pampered. And just starting to acknowledge that, and then just entertaining men who want to give. What does that look like? That means a man who's more interested in you than you are in him. Ladies, start dating men who are more interested in you than you are in them, and get used to receiving. And when you receive, show appropriate appreciation, but don't overgive. Say a young man takes you out to dinner. Let him know how much you like the restaurant or the menu, and he's going to feel like a king. He's going to want to take you out again. If you're a happy woman that he can make happier, he will want to take you out again. You don't have to give him your body for him to like you. I have known men who dated women for years. And these women wanted to stay virgins until they got married. Yes, it still happens in this day and age. And these men dated these women for years or even married them. You don't have to have sex to get a man to like you. You just have to bond with him emotionally. To get a man to like you, be receptive to his giving and show appreciation. That's it. And if you do this with men who are more interested in you than you are in them, you won't fall into this trap of feeling abandoned or going after unavailable men or men who mistreat you. Just notice how you feel. And at the same time that you're doing this, make sure that you get your main love met from within through your spiritual connection. This is very important. Whether you go to church and pray to God or Allah or Jesus or Buddha, Krishna, some kind of a devotional practice through your church, through meditation, even walks in nature, praying to the great God or the universe, that's our ultimate source for love. If you have trouble feeling love or had an abusive childhood, you can find lots of resources online on healing your inner child or reparenting yourself. Some people also have turned to like Tantra or some kind of like group self-love classes. So a spiritual connection, maybe some reparenting work, getting the support of family and friends, or a community. Like for ladies, it's really good to get support by going to like a group class, whether it's in your church. I don't go to church at all, but I know a lot of people get solace from that. Whether it's your church or taking a yoga class or some kind of a class where you feel supported, so you can get used to feeling supported and loved. And then let exercise, healthy eating, reading books that you like. Get yourself in a place that you feel happy with your life. Yet still wanting a man. That's natural to want a man. It's natural, ladies, to want to have a man in your life. So this man ideally will add to your life rather than being your only source of sustenance. Like our main sustenance has to come from the things that we're doing in ourselves, and then the man is just a bonus, and we can be open to receiving and appreciate him. Okay, so that's really it. And guys, I really recommend that you go after women in your real life, that you approach them and give to them and approach women from their heart. Listen to how she feels. Don't give her advice or stop her, and say, tell me more. That's how you penetrate a woman emotionally before you penetrate her physically. So you can bond with her, so that way you're not just going around, having sex with all these women and leaving them sad. By the way, I know a lot of hookup culture has to do like around getting, drinking first. I really don't recommend that at all. I personally believe that if people need to drink to have sex, they shouldn't be having sex at all, because sex is a very intimate experience. And if you're uncomfortable with your body or intimacy, I would look at that rather than using alcohol to numb your ability to be present. So, and I also believe that sexually, the man should always please the woman before he looks at his own pleasure. So he should go down on a woman. Ladies, do not give a guy a blowjob until he's given you an oral orgasm. the man should always please the woman before he cares about his own pleasure. And ideally, he still has his clothes on when he's going down on you, because his prime mission is to please you and get turned on by you having pleasure. So if you're just giving him a blowjob before he's done anything for you, then you are over giving, and you'll probably feel used or resentful afterward. And if you do, it's because you gave him more than he had given you. See, men don't feel resentful like that. If he goes down on you, you don't do anything for him, he might be annoyed or angry, but he's not going to feel used. Okay? So a man, ladies, a man should always strive to make you happy and make you have sexual pleasure before he turns to his own sexual pleasure. That's the sign of a healthy man. And a man who cares about you will want you to have sexual pleasure and not use you as a way to get off. Now, if you do have a man who's sexually selfish, it might not mean that he doesn't like you. It could also mean that he has intimacy issues, or probably intimacy issues. And I don't know if that's the guy you want. So there's so much good information now online about people doing work around self-improvement, especially on Instagram. I follow so many great coaches. I'm a coach myself. If you think you might want to work with me, my website is in the description below this video. I would love to work with you, or just keep watching my videos. I would also like to hear from some ladies if there's certain topics you'd like me to cover. I want to speak more to women and young women about sex and sexual experiences and dating, or anyone who's single. I myself have been single, like I said, 7 years. I still haven't met like the guy who's going to be my next life partner, but I'm receptive to it. And what I've really been working on in myself is feeling whole within, but yet still having that desire for something more. You know, for a long time I was like, I'm never going to meet anyone. I hate living alone. I was in such a negative mind space. And I had to really turn that around and start appreciating what I have, and yet still believe that something more is possible. That has not been easy. I struggled for a long time, and I cried over a lot of guys who blew me off, because, you know, I bond to men when I have sex with them. I can't help it. I tried for a long time to figure out how not to, but in the end I realized that that's just what I do. So I only have sex with men who are clients, or if I were to be in a relationship with someone. And by the way, I'm also an escort, so I don't know if some of you ladies may not want to watch my videos because of that, but that has given me a lot of experience with being with men and talking with men. And I do believe that most men do want a monogamous relationship. They come to see me because their wives are not having sex with them at all for years, or because they're single and they don't want to put in the effort into meeting a woman to have sex, or they don't want to just have sex with the woman and leave her heartbroken because they know that women get attached. And especially for men, men need sex to feel connected to their hearts. Whereas we as women need to feel love in our hearts before we want to have sex. And I'd like to leave you with one final quote, and sort of a quote from John Gray's book, which is that a woman doesn't owe man sex on the first date, and a man doesn't owe a woman marriage on the first date. So women are looking for marriage first, and men are looking for sex first. So we have to understand that difference about each other. And a lot of guys on dating apps will say, oh, these women are looking for a soulmate. And women on dating apps are saying, oh, these men are just looking for sex. Well, there's some truth in both of that. So women, we have to get to a place where we can date men without penciling this guy in as our soulmate or as our husband. And the way you do that is you date a lot of men. You see how they make you feel. You don't have sex with any of them until you become exclusive. Don't project the soulmate thing onto a guy. That scares him away. And guys, don't look at this woman as your next pussy over dinner. Enjoy her company. Enjoy what she has to give you. Penetrate her mind. Penetrate her heart before you think about penetrating her body. And women, get used to receiving. See how you feel about men, how they make you feel. And yeah, those are my tips for now. And thank you so much for watching my video.